Hey guys, here's all the materials you need to make the soap. I recommend taking a screenshot of this page so you can save it for future reference. The first step in making the soap is cutting the blocks. If you buy it in a big block like I did, you need to cut it into about 1-inch cubes. This will ensure that they melt evenly when they're being heated. If you're using a 2-cup measuring cup, measure out no more than 1 pound or 16 ounces of soap. This will ensure that when it's melted, it'll all fit back into the cup. If you have a larger, maybe 4-cup measuring cup, feel free to fill it up more. I use a double boiler to melt the soap on the stove, but you can also melt it in the measuring cup in the microwave. Just make sure to melt it in 15 to 20 second intervals at a time because you really want to make sure you don't burn the soap. Soap melts at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit and should not be heated to over 160 degrees. By the way, if you are using a double boiler, make sure to put in about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of water in the lower pot. When the soap's all melted, pour it back carefully into the measuring cup. Now it's time to let the soap cool for a bit, but keep it moving, keep mixing it, ensure it doesn't harden again. You can put your fragrance in once the temperature reaches 140 degrees or lower. I'm using my laser thermometer here to take the temperature. I love this thing. But once I hit 140, I put in my cherry blossom fragrance oil from Brambleberry. Next up, add your colorant, but remember, a little goes a long way. 1, 2, or 3 drops max. Once it's all mixed together, it's time to pour the soap into the mold. Once you pour the soap in the mold, spritz with alcohol to eliminate bubbles formed at the surface of the soap. After the soap has cured, carefully remove it from the molds and place it in its own shrink wrapping bag. Repeat until all the soaps are ready to be shrink wrapped. For this next part, I really recommend using an impulse sealer. You can buy an impulse sealer on Amazon for less than $30. I linked this one in the description below, but what it does is it seals your bag, makes it ready for shrink wrapping, but you can also use it outside of this application. You can use it to seal anything that needs sealing. Maybe it's leftover food or teas, or maybe you're making gift bags for a different occasion. There's definitely other uses, so this doesn't have to be a single purpose item around your house. Now it's time to make your soap look professional. I'm using an embossing gun instead of a regular heat gun, but you can use a heat gun on a low setting if you already have one. You want to make sure to keep the heat source a distance away from the actual soap because you don't want it to melt again and get stuck in the plastic. This shrink wrapping is going really well, but if you find that the air isn't releasing from the bag, then just use your scissors and snip a small corner and then push that corner in last. Now it's time to label the soaps. I started with the back label because I had a front label with all the table assignments and then a back label that was the same for every soap. Since we didn't have our table assignments yet, it made sense to do the back labels first. I printed my labels on my home printer and then I cut them with my Silhouette Cameo 4. But you don't have to have a die cutting machine to do this. You can design labels online and then have them mailed to you. Or if you really do want to use a die cutting machine, check out if your local library has a maker space available because they tend to have the machines there for your use for free. Put your front labels on it and that's it, you're done. You've got some beautiful and unique table assignments that double as wedding favors. If you liked this video or it helped you, please consider giving me a thumbs up below and subscribing because it really helps me grow my channel. Thanks all!